Then put your little hand in mine. There ain't no hill or mountain we can't climb. Babe, I've got you, babe. I've got you, babe. Okay, campers, rise and shine. Don't forget your booties because it's cold out there today.
It's cold out there every day. What is this, Miami Beach?
Not hardly, and you can expect hazardous travel later today. What with that blizzard thing?
That blizzard thing.
You gotta say it again.
That blizzard thing.
And then the line would be, the report here. I have the report here. The National Weather Service says, watch out for a big blizzard thing.
Okay.
Yes, they are. But you know, the question on everybody's lips.
Their chapped lips.
Yes, their chapped lips. Will
Phil see a shadow?
Yeah, I forgot what it was. Will Phil see a shadow? Because I feel like I'm forgetting a line.
Does Phil feel lucky?
That's Phil lucky. Will Phil come out and see his shadow? Punxsutawney Phil.
Punxsutawney Phil.
That's right. Woodchuck Chuckers. It's Groundhog Day.
Wee. And the piggy went wee all the way home.
Okay, so before we start with your thing, Bobby,
today is this movie.
It's currently 7:56 p.m. on March
16th,
2019.
I was like, March 3rd? Oh, wait, that's 3/16. March 16th, 2019.
Groundhog Day 3/16.
Trump is still in office?
Trump is somehow still in office, and I've heard rumblings this week about... No, he's not worth impeachment. What are you saying?
Wait, we're not a political talk show, though. We're just here to give you an update on what's going on in the world while we read this.
Yeah, but I don't want to go ahead with that first. I have to ask you a question before we I want to hear the words on your chapped lips.
Stupid fucking movie.
How do you feel about the movie this week, Bobby?
I can't stand it. I kept saying, fuck you. I hate you. I hate this movie. I'm in a bad mood today. I'm hungry. I'm kind of tired.
It's almost 8 o'clock at night, and usually we're done by now. What did you not like about the film this week?
I don't know. I just seen it so many times, and there's not enough good parts in it. He doesn't do enough shit with the fucking time loop for me to really enjoy it. Like, you know, I would have liked to see more of that. I would have liked a mystery or something. He should have had to solve a fucking mystery to get out of there.
Or rewrite history?
DuckTales.
Oh, woo! Thank you. That's where I was going.
Thank you for bringing a little bit of levity into this fuck face of a fucking experience.
Hey. It's a family podcast. That's a Bill Murray face looking podcast.
Randy actually did make me laugh a couple of times this watch.
Well, listener, as you know, I make Bobby laugh every week. I am very
I don't know what he said. I can't remember what he said anymore, but...
I'm just constantly doing patter, constantly doing a bit. There's nothing I know.
This watch, I'm going to be honest with you, we got so bored we started talking during the movie about...
No, you started ranting during the movie, and I was like, okay, I'm talking, whatever.
We started talking about other things, because I just can't watch this movie fucking, like, for itself anymore. I have to do something else.
And then just to rub it in, and the movie started, I was eating. I was smart. I actually started eating while we were watching the movie.
I ate before I came here, but I had to go visit someone else first.
Yeah, and I have turkey in the pressure cooker that's still warm, so I'm going to eat that next.
Turkey in the straw.
So, yep, you really hate this movie. And this is only our 15th watch.
Fucking like it.
We still have another...
I'm starting to wonder if I wish I had watched a different movie instead.
37 more watches
52
minus... Math is my best
minus
subject.
15?
It's minus 15, so it's
yeah,
like
so
37?
42, 37, yeah. Take off the 10 first, Randy.
Yep, so we're on the Kevin Smith episode plus 1.
Yeah. And... So yeah, I didn't enjoy this movie. There's probably a couple of little things I noticed this week, but it wasn't worth it.
What'd you notice?
A couple of people in the background that I hadn't really seen before. A newscaster woman who... not a newscaster woman. Well, actually, a newscaster woman with a really bad haircut. Another woman who was, like, smiling broadly right next to the Groundhog platform, who we think is somebody's wife.
Yeah, she has to be part of the Groundhog Society.
The chefs in the back of the diner. There's, like, a couple of little things I saw, but... It didn't help much.
So, hot take. Would you rather watch this 52 times or Grown Ups 2 52 times?
I've only ever seen Grown Ups 2 once, and that was while I was, like, listening to the commentary by Tim and Guy, so I can't really comment on a straight watch of it.
I think you need to speak a little louder.
I can't really comment on a straight watch of it, and I don't know if I would... Because I think it might be longer.
Yeah, this movie's only like an hour and 40-ish minutes, if I remember correctly.
It's a nice tight cut. I'll give it that.
That's the thing I say. Every time you try to say it needs to have more to it, it needs to add. Like, well, what do you add to it? Like, how do you? It's like it's so tightly cut together.
But if it made it more entertaining, then it would be worth a few more minutes.
It wouldn't be a few more minutes. It'd be adding like making this a full 2-hour movie. It would be adding an extra 20 minutes to film.
We cheered with fucking joy like Muppets when the halfway point came.
But we've been doing that for about 4 weeks now, 5 weeks.
This time I waved my arms in the air like they were all noodles with wires attached to them. And there was a guy with his hand in my mouth.
No, the guy with the hand up your ass has your mouth wide open.
My bisected midsection.
Was it something about the Flintstones that I made you laugh? Like I was riffing on that?
No, that was near the end of the movie. But yeah, at some point in time, I started talking about other things, including the Flintstones, which I kind of wish we were watching a marathon of. That would be pretty funny. The Flintstones had a lot of great moments.
I keep threatening him that in the summer I'm going to take off like 1 day or 2 days, and then we're going to sit here and we're going to watch it over and over again and just record a podcast after it, just so that Bobby can have a break from this movie.
What else was I going to say? Anyway, I got some notes from last week.
So do you want to pull up the notes now, and you want to bring some stuff up and elaborate?
Let's go through it. This is what I wrote last week, and we cut it off right after Gus unbuttons his shirt.
Oh, was it the fact of why I was saying Gus has to?
No, we went over that. That was the last thing we said.
No, but why was the thing? Laughing was.
Why don't you tell us now? Maybe that was why.
I was explaining.
That's why. That was it.
I was explaining to him like, oh well, in the bowling alley scene when Gus is sitting there with his shirt wide open, you see he's wearing a pair of suspenders. Mm-hmm. The only time a fat man has to unbutton his shirt, and when he's wearing suspenders, when he has to have made a massive dump at some point. So while they were drinking, he left and make a massive dump and remove the suspenders.
Checks out. He's drinking beer,
and he didn't want to button his shirt back up.
And we know he's been eating fucking at that diner all morning, so that guy probably
drinking a lot of coffee, which
huge shit.
So, I don't think that's what made you laugh, but it's like that when I'm like, oh,
something about. There was a couple of things. Yeah, you should have written it down. We got up to the next thing, the psychologist meeting with very, very short. That guy told him like nothing, man.
Yeah, well, there's not really much to do there. It's the director's cameo prior to that.
We're also wondering why the fuck the doctor would send him to a psychiatrist. Actually, it was. I wrote psychologist. He says psychiatrist. Why did he send him to a psychiatrist? Because he says he can't leave town because of a blizzard. It's February in Pennsylvania.
I think he's incredulous because of the weather is really nice.
But he's lived in previous years, and he knows that there's blizzards in February in Pennsylvania. It's not July. It's not Arizona. It's a snowy season in a
Let's try to play the devil's advocate here. So it's like, why would he think he's crazy for thinking there's a blizzard coming?
Poorly written.
It's because
he's a bad doctor.
To the contrary, there's no blizzard incoming. It's like that all the weather, other than that one broadcast we get at the beginning of the movie where it's like the big blizzard thing is incoming.
Is there snow on the ground already?
There was no snow on the ground. It's completely clear. And as we know from watching the movie, the blizzard doesn't start in Puxatawny. The snow only comes in the evening. The snow is further out where there was no snow supposed to be coming. So I think it's just that he listened to the forecast and they're like, oh, there's a slight chance of snow, but no blizzard, except for whatever their radio station is going about that blizzard thing.
But anyway, when he gets a psychiatrist, that guy doesn't tell him nothing. He gives away the fact that he's seeing an alcoholic, which is probably against his code of conduct.
Yeah, that would be against his code of privacy, like it's that stuff. But
he doesn't tell him anything.
Why
he's just
send him to a psychiatrist instead of a psychologist? Is it because he thinks he's going to need medicine for whatever's ailing him, or
Maybe.
Is it just?
I wonder if he ever went on medication on a day when he was repeating over and over.
I don't think he saw him a lot more. And if you ever see the line go really small, means you're talking quiet.
Okay, I don't think he. I wonder if he ever caught medication. So, you think he would? He did have an alcohol problem at one point in time.
Yeah, but he had a endless amount of days to get over that alcohol problem.
Holy shit.
Yep.
He probably got over alcoholism because of that time loop.
He probably picked up smoking and gave it up.
No, we saw him smoke. Remember in the diner scene?
But it's like he probably picked up smoking and gave it up.
But we don't see him drink on his last day. Maybe he quit drinking. Holy fuck, man.
He's living a better life and is trying to set forth and
he doesn't need alcohol, man.
No, he gets off on self-righteous-ahol. I mean, doing good deed-ahol.
Excuse me, I believe he's living a daily dose of vitamin virtue.
Thank you, vitamin virtue.
Climbing that mountain of virtue as we've postulated. Yeah, so the psychiatrist, he's like, just come back tomorrow. Who fucking tells you to come back tomorrow? We've been talking for 5 minutes. Help me with my problem, asshole.
He does it all very quietly. It's like, I think we should meet up again tomorrow. This is the shortest meeting. Yeah, it's like you literally had a meet and greet. It's like yeah. Oh yeah, I have like maybe 15 minutes. Let me just assess you.
Yeah. Next up, where are the railroad tracks? When he gets drunk and he's going on this wild he gets drunk. He's going on his wild chase in Ralph's car with the police. We see them go onto railroad tracks. Now it looks to me like the first thing they do is he knocks over a mailbox. Then the cops chase him. He dekes out the cop. The cop crashes into some mailboxes that look like they're right in front of the diner. Then he hooks
actually they're newspaper boxes.
Newspaper boxes, whatever. Then he hooks like a U-turn and goes up the road, and all of a sudden he's on railroad tracks when he turns right. So the railroad tracks have to be not far from that diner.
Is it bad? I just kind of want to pull up a map of the town that they filmed in.
I wonder if it's like geographically accurate to the actual town's geography, though.
Well, we know from the commentary that they have a town square, that the diner didn't exist, but they took it over, built a diner. That a lot of the hotel was a courthouse.
Last week courthouse. Last week I got a laugh out of that scene where they're fleeing from the cops. Oh no, when they're driving on the railroad tracks, fleeing from the cops, and it says laugh. Ralph's look of hate.
Yeah, Ralph really did not look happy. But
when Phil says, what is it? It was, I'm not going to live by their rules anymore.
I noticed that.
And then Ralph says, I noticed that.
But I'm reading that as differently right now.
Fuck, his eyes are just staring straight ahead with just hatred.
No, I read it a little bit differently this week because I'm watching them like bounce around on the train tracks.
Please, by all means.
He's the one that's bouncing around the most. I think he's trying not to throw up. He's just like...
He's the one, he's like, and he bounces around the most. That. And yeah. Maybe you're saying it's nausea.
Yeah. I think he's like ready just to puke everywhere. He's like, oh, I noticed that.
And next day in the diner when he's eating all the food, we believe now, due to my theory that Rita is an angel. We believe that Rita is angry because Phil is eating an angel cake.
Yeah. Oh, I remember what made you laugh. And I just forgot it.
Tell me it. Oh, you fuckface.
You just brought it up. Oh, Mandela effect. I asked him, I go, remember when we thought Doris was actually the piano teacher?
No, I was thinking of the stupid thing I said last week about, what was it? Who the fuck is Bob Marley?
Oh yeah, Bob Marley was the...
No, but anyway, Rita is, angry. This week,
you're mixing up Bob Cratchit and Marley.
Yeah. This week we got into something about Rita and an angel. Oh, now we think Rita caused the thing.
Yeah, I was trying this week. I was trying to get him to go.
Only at the very beginning, Randy was like, "How do you think this happened?" And then I'm like, he's been there with Larry.
We have to look at it through canon.
He's been there 4 times. This is his 4th time going there. He's been there 3 times before. He's been there with Larry, but he's never been there with Rita. Now Rita shows up, and all of a sudden he's trapped in a time loop.
But that can be explained away if he's fallen in love with her, but he's not worthy of her. So
you needed worthy love interest.
That's apparently all he ever needed to become a good man was worthy opponents.
So she's his fucking worthy opponent.
Find a worthy opponent, grab, flip, jump, spin, slam.
And it's a bear.
And it's from a shirt that says, Mastering the Art of Spinning Pile Driver.
So, yeah. Yeah, so I think Rita caused it as the snow angel. And we kind of got into that for a bit, but I don't remember what else I said.
Yeah, there's that. What are the 2 ongoing theories we have? There's the Rita Snow Angel and the Phil the reality thing going on.
Oh yeah. That's our 2. We came up with 2 fan theories.
Crisis with Infinite Phils.
Yeah. Oh, the alternate universes with dead Phils in them.
His soul exploding out to him in a fire, which is why there's so much fire coming out of the car as he rises like a phoenix into another body.
Oh, Phoenix! That was what made me laugh. You compared him to a phoenix.
As after they crash, the flame is way too much. It's like, how much gas is in that car? It's like, no, his spirit is bursting forth from his body as it seeks its new home in the next reality over.
We have 100% confirmed that Nancy is not in the wide shot of the
festival. They got lazy. They got lazy.
Oh, that was another thing that made me laugh when you were like, it would have been really great if that coffee was right behind Ned's head, so it looked like devil horns.
Well, that's because of the third theory of
like, Randy,
Ned is a devil.
You should have been the fucking cinematographer of this movie. You would have had Nancy in that shot. You would have had that coffee cup behind Ned's head. It would have been looked great.
Thank you.
Phil parks his car. When Phil robs the bank, the armored car, gets the bag of money and buys the blue expensive car. I don't know what the hell.
Yeah, the classic car. Yeah.
He parks it right in front of the theater.
The Cadillac. Yeah.
Right in front of the theater on the street.
He doesn't care.
Doesn't care if it gets towed, man.
He don't care.
Because he's got money to bail it out.
Phil don't care. He doesn't even need to bail it out. Just like he gets out of there. Oh well, my car got taken away. What you gonna do?
I like how he stayed in character that whole day too. Fuck, man.
Mo money, mo problems.
Here's something that came up again today that we also were confused about. Does Phil talk to Rita every morning on the save scumming date? So on the first day that we see Phil doing the stupid thing where he's like, he copies her drink. So you rule on the rocks with the twist, please.
Yeah, because the first day he starts priming her for information.
The first day
they're leaving the Groundhog grounds of Gobbler's Knob, and he asks her to come with her to get a drink.
Go to the diner.
Go to the diner.
And he starts asking her stuff.
Yeah, does he do that every day? Last week I was saying no, you were saying yes, but this week I've come around to saying yes.
Yeah.
Because then that explains our stupid
alternate.
No, it explains the stupid mountains thing.
Yeah.
That doesn't get explained.
And the Rome thing.
Because it could come up in conversation like, what's your favorite drink? Oh, it's this? Okay, what? Why? Why is that your favorite drink? You could see it somewhere there. Where it would happen.
But then why? But then again, it does show him scumming at the bar. But then wouldn't you got that information in the morning?
That's why last week I was saying no. That everything we see is only getting the information there.
Man, now I'm switching my.
Now you're switching sides.
But then what did he do all day that day? Because all we know is that he sabotages the van.
He sabotages the van, and then he goes out and gets everything he needs set up. Because by the end of the day, on the how many times repetition?
Oh, he has to buy the snowman stuff.
He has to get the snowman stuff. He has to find coal. He has to find as he's trying to construct the perfect date, he's probably spending the day scoping things out. It's like, okay, here's the candy, the chocolate shops here. We can walk to the park from the coffee shop and go to chocolate shop. Go here. We'll build a statue here because the kids I just paid off to pelt us with snowballs are going to sneak around the corner so I can pretend not to see them.
Yeah, they gave up pretty fast, man.
Yeah, he paid them.
He probably paid them to take a dive. I wanted to say too, in relation to that scene, that scene the first time cuts off too early when he asks her when she's like, "Oh, sweet vermouth on the rocks, the twist." That's probably the first day when he gets the information about Rome out of her, and possibly
that's the other part.
The mountains thing out of her. And then the next day he starts stage.
Yeah, I could see that having him going. Why do you like? Why is that your favorite drink?
But I wish that was in there because then it makes no sense why he keeps.
I wish that we could find that stupid scene.
And the mountains
that scenes have been alleged to exist.
It was burned, man. But no, because then the other thing, the two things that come together when they're sitting in the restaurant later, the German restaurant, and he's like, "Gosh, I wish we could all just live in the mountains." And then later on the day when he has the good night with her, when he stays at the hotel throwing the cards, but on that morning when he's telling her like this is gonna happen, and she's like he's like, "Oh, I know all about you." He's like, you like boats but not the ocean. Every summer you and your family go to a lake in the mountains and you stay at you have a little cottage at the dock. That's really fucking. She told him that story about the mountains. That's why that saves coming days.
Yeah, we learned somewhere.
Boy, I wish we could all live in the mountains at high altitudes.
Like I said, yeah, there's more to it than what he is. You don't just abandon the run when things go wrong. You
continue harvesting for data.
You harvest as much information as possible, and then when the moon falls,
mining, yeah.
And then when the moon falls, you and you start over on the next day again. You just start all over, and you get more information and keep on going until you have a perfect map.
Again, coming up to that, when does Phil sabotage the van? So we're trying to figure out what time of day it was. It was clearly light out.
I think if the van is parked there all day... No, it's not parked there all day because it's like we know from when he kidnaps the Groundhog that the van is parked across the street, like near the center of town, right? But is that close to the diner? Yeah.
As far as we know, the diner looks like it's within walking distance of the town square.
So maybe he gets up in the morning, It takes a shower, changes, runs there, disables the van.
Nope,
so
but on the first
move.
day he disabled it, we saw that he was doing it in like the afternoon, or at least the late morning.
The late morning after he's done everything. Yeah.
So yeah, he only needs to do it then. Why would he do it any earlier? Because he risks Larry accidentally fixing it in time.
But he takes a part from the van. So it's like they're probably not going to have.
Oh, does Larry have to be out ordering parts?
To leave, he has to get a part delivered, or he has to talk to the.
He's probably going to a auto mechanic shop trying to find the part.
Yeah, he literally takes out a whole mechanism. He goes, "Okay, taking this whole thing out."
Yeah.
And walks away.
Yeah.
And I guess with that, you have.
We're done.
You want to add one more, or?
Phil mentions white chocolate. One day or later, Phil repeats it.
I think that's just a continuity error.
Yeah.
Because you get they go to the chocolate shop and she goes, "I don't like it. White
Actually,
chocolate,
like, gross,
ew,
gross. And
okay,
he's like,
white chocolate.
No white chocolate. Okay, then he saves Scums once. Yeah. And then, because that's what that's when he's like, French poetry. Ha ha!
Yeah, but when he makes it all the way to the final day.
Then he saves Scums once, so that's one day later. And then she gets to the part where she's like, something about fudge. Ew, fudge. Was it fudge?
Yeah, it's fudge. It's like, ooh, I ate fudge. And he goes, okay, no white chocolate, no fudge.
But he already knew no white chocolate from the previous day. Fuck.
So, yeah. It's just...
Come on, Phil.
He screwed that up. I think that's just a continuity error.
Maybe he's just reminding himself.
Okay, and once again, this was our 15th watch of this. And your 15th listen.
Fuck, man.
37 more.